Yo, what's good, guys? It's JD here. Hello, and welcome back to another podcast with my main man, Jazz. And today we've got the news we were all waiting for. The 2K23 Myteam blog has arrived, and it is big. It is like a thesis. There's a lot to get through in this episode, so it's going to be a long-ass video. So hopefully you're prepared for that. Let us know down below originally your thoughts. I'm sure you've already read it. Most people have, but originally your thoughts, and at the end of this podcast as well, let us know if you've changed your opinions on anything. But Jazz, welcome back to the channel, buddy.
It's good to have something to talk about, isn't it? That's not from 6 months ago.
It is a lot to talk about as well. This is a hefty blog, which is great, by the way. I'm more than happy that the more detail I go into, the more they explain, the better. But yeah, 2 weeks to go, everybody, until release day, or 2 weeks, 1 day. Well, if in New Zealand, I suppose you can get 2 weeks, but yeah, very close to being revealed and released. So we'll have to see how it plays actually in game. But for today, we've got a lot to jump into, so make sure you subscribe for the 2K23 content, which is going to be around the corner. And let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing was actually released last night by 2K, but that is no more contracts. Not really much to say about that, other than about damn time.
Yeah, I'm like not really fussed.
It became it's tedious. It's just a pain in the arse when you're having to do it. You know, when you finished a game of Domination and you saw 13 people out of contracts, you just thought, God damn, not this again. So I just think it needed to be taken to a place where it was sort of so inane and just like not even bothered about it. So you're adding like 50 contracts per game or like whatever, like with one card, or removed. So I think they had to do one or the other. They've removed it. I'm fine with that. It don't really have a place in sports games, I don't think, at this point in time. You've always had the thoughts of like reward cards should not have contracts, haven't you? Like, so we don't have that anymore, which is good.
For me, like the idea of buying a card or pulling a card and then having to keep investing in that card to be able to use it is just nonsense. But there is the other side of it. The most annoying thing about this is when you start building up contract packs. Like I had like 3 points of the year where I probably had to open 100 contract packs at once just to get rid of them.
Yep.
And then you sell them and you get like 100k once they've all sold. So it really depends what they replace it with. I mean, as long as they don't replace it with any other sort of perishable that you have to put on a card, consumable, then it's a huge W. And yeah, it's just a convenience factor, really, that it solves. Like you're just not spending 2 minutes between each game, which is a few things in this that actually lead to that kind of flow.
Quality of life improvements are big. They do say nothing has replaced contracts. They're simply gone. So that's good. But I mean, like something will have to replace it in terms of like, you know, from Domination, we were getting contract packs as a rewards for like 3 out of the 7 Dominations, I think. So like they'll have to be replaced by something. But in terms of like, you know, was it going to be like a fitness card or stamina card, you know, things like that? They're not going to be there, which is good. So yeah, taken out, not replaced. Starting off,
there was enough filler last year, right? Just to kind of not need to add anything.
Shoe boosts, badges, that's pretty much it. There was the other contracts.
Still got injury cards and things like that. I'm sure
injury cards. But yeah, that was a good. And I think that was such an easy sort of way to get the community on side and say, like, you know, hey guys, we're going to have a nice blog for you tomorrow. You're going to like what we've got. Here's something that we know. I mean, it's an absolute slam dunk. I mean, they could have done this every year over the last like 5-6 years. And it would have gone down exactly the same way. The fact that it's been waiting for so long. I mean, if you look at the interactions on that tweet last night, I mean, they've got like 20,000 likes. I don't know when they've had that much positivity or interaction. Like, I don't think they got that all year. So
it was the ultimate high IQ play. Yeah, I kind of said, I messaged you this yesterday, right? I think the thing that they did, which was surprising, and I think people missed the point of what they were trying to achieve, is this is something people didn't ask for anymore. We've literally given up on this. I think people just assumed contracts would be in there forever. If they were still there this year, I don't think people would have batted an eyelid. They would have been right, well, that's what we expected. The fact that this is something we were complaining about really in 2K20, I would say, was when the real complaints about contracts were at their peak.
So long.
The fact that they kind of just went back and went, right, they were complaining about this then, even though they're not complaining about it now, let's do it anyway. And that was the message that I think they tried to send by talking about contracts early, going like, you know, everyone wants all this stuff now, but we've been listening for the last few years. Here's something that suggests that. So I think that was their objective, with that being the kind of early leak.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of things in this blog as well, which we're going to get to, that have been like sort of many years in the reckoning to like make people's lives better and quality of life changes. and all that stuff. So the next thing is a big thing, and that is kind of the talk of Twitter right now. And I know you're pretty hype on this, and that is a triple threat online co-op. So you can go online, you can have anywhere between 2 and 6 players. You can have 3-on-3 with your mates, or you can be 1-on-3, 2-on-2, or you can play against the AIs. So you can have 3 of your friends against AIs, 2 of your friends against AIs, and then an AI would come on your team as well. Yeah, you seem pretty hype on that.
So I wasn't until my Twitter blew up. So like, I kind of looked at it and went, "Oh, that's cool."
Mm-hmm.
And then I started getting DMs. People were tagging me, going, "Let's run next year." So I think like the community got so excited that it got me excited. But it is going to be cool. Like, I just posted this on Twitter. Like, you stream. Like, I have so much respect for it. I can't stream my team. I can't do it. I just have a mental block with it that there's nothing really I want to stream.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if streaming XP is exciting. I don't know if streaming unlimited is something I want to do.
Mm.
So I've always had this kind of like struggle to find the middle ground of like, what can I stream that I would enjoy playing, and I think someone might enjoy watching. And this might be it.
It could well
jump in
be.
Discord with a couple of mates and just jump online. It's basically Park. I mean, it's Park in my team.
That's the thing. I think there's also quite a few things I think that they're trying to get people from Park into my team quite a lot. And this is obviously one thing that's like, like you say, it's carbon copy, isn't it? It's Park in my team. I think the community aspect of it is brilliant. You can just have viewers playing with you, or like so you can hop in Discord with a couple of mates and do it. Again, I think it was a pretty solid addition to the game. I don't think I'm going to be playing it that much. No friends in that, but like I don't think I'm going to be playing it all that much.
I'm right here.
We can run for sure.
We'll definitely run. Yeah. I'm actually going to set up a Discord today, like with just a bunch of EU guys.
Yeah,
I think we could have a blast with this stuff, man. Like,
I think wages will be big. I think competitions will be big. Tournaments, not ran by 2K, obviously, but like set up tournaments 3-on-3 because they're quick, fast-paced games.
Yeah.
You do like best of 3, best of 5s or whatever. I think those kind of contents and tournaments could do really well this year. So I think it opens the door for a lot of content, which is great.
So we could do 3v3 friendlies last year, couldn't we?
There was play with friends, triple threat, yeah.
Which kind of just fell off immediately, didn't it? Like no one really thought.
I didn't press that button once this year. I don't think.
I'll be interested to see if this does hold the excitement or whether it goes the same way.
I think it'll hold for quite a while because it is so new, it is so fresh, and you can also earn rewards alongside it, which we'll talk about as well. So you can win online in a competitive mode. So there's 3 different types of modes. You can play against the AI. I don't think that gives you the rewards. It might do. There's a lot in there, but there's a ladder system. So 1 win gets you a token, 2 wins, playmaker pack. It's very similar to like triple threat ladder stuff. And then there's a wheel type thing as well. So you get a chance at winning takeoff player, Diamond Lamar Odom. Talk about that in a bit. Limitless pack and some MT. So, there are rewards there. There are incentives there. If they stay fresh throughout the year, I think that'll be another reason to keep people playing it. But I think in terms of just like playing with your friends, I think, not many people would say, oh, let's run a 5-minute quarter 5v5 game. But I think a lot of people would probably go, oh, do you want to just hop on and play a couple of games of triple threat against a couple of people? I think it's got a good place in this game.
What do you think? What impact do you think this is going to have on Park?
I mean, they've done a lot of things to try and get Park players into my team. They give out those 10-pack boxes, which we can't even earn ourselves, but they give them to my career. But I don't think that was the right way to go about it. But this is sort of like familiar territory for them, isn't it? They'll look at this and think, well, hold on a minute. We play 3v3 in our park all the time. Let's just go see what that's like on my team. So I don't know. I think people are very territorial about it, aren't they? They're like, oh, I'm a Park player, I'm a my team player.
Yeah, it's an identity thing.
Yeah, and you don't really have many people who do sort of like a mix of both. You don't really have somebody who says like half their time on my team, half the time on Park. That's not the norm. So I don't know if it'll bring too many people over, but it'll definitely I think people will try it. I think they'll see a lot more first-time users. Maybe not long-term, but I think a lot of first-time users will give it a go.
Yeah, I'm all for it. It's fun. You know me. I'm all about that fun factor, and this just screams fun. And there's rewards. I mean, if there wasn't rewards, I think people would still play it, but it's got rewards as well. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't even remember the rewards until I saw the picture again.
Yeah,
it could just be a standalone mode there, and people would probably still play it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all good. That's all good. And then so here we go. Talking about the my career side of things, we've got position locks or control lock to any position.
Yeah.
So if you're used to a specific player position in my career, I mean, they specifically mention that, so they are really trying to get these my career guys into my team. I want to better manage specific players' stamina for Cleveland Agenda, and it says available in every game mode in my team. So unlimited, limited draft, etc. I think it's great for doing agendas. You know, if you need a rebounding agenda with a big man, chuck yourself on your center, farm the boards, job done. And if you are a my career head and you only like playing one position, you know, then you've got that. That's another option for them, which is good. Online, not a clue how it's going to work. Not a clue. What difficulty are the AI going to be? You know, on your team. If you pick like the small forward, the rest of your team are on the Hall of Fame difficulty against somebody else, that's going to be kind of bad. And I think they are worried about it because they say we'll be monitoring all modes to ensure my team is balanced. So
yeah, this is definitely a test, isn't it? This feels like the thing in here they haven't entirely committed to yet. The main purpose I can't see anyone online wanting to lock to one player.
I don't think so. Because like defensively, you can say, I'll just lock to my center and I'll just stay in the paint. But like offensively, you'll be locked to your center. Like you'll be winning your game from there. So I don't think people will use it online. I think for an offline side of things, I think it's cool. You know, if you need 4 steals with a player or whatever, you can just stay in some lanes.
Well, they actually talk about the actual, I think, reason this has been put in, right? Like if you look at the third line, it says manage players' stamina on your way to completing an agenda. So I think the thing this is put into resolve is you needing 100 points for the player and them getting injured at 99. Yeah.
So instead of removing injuries, giving you a way to sort of like circumvent that.
Manage that player, yeah. I mean, if you're playing rookie dom or whatever, you don't want you're trying to get points to the point guard. You don't want him trying to lock up every possession, draining his own stamina, inevitably getting injured. So you can basically just control him, get him out of the way, and just focus on the offense. So I think that's why I think they've put it in. That's why I think they put it in, because that was a nightmare.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, happens so often.
Some people expected injuries to be taken, or not expected, but like hoped injuries would be taken out. But I think this is probably a workaround for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's there. I mean, you don't have to do it. You know, it's just an option there if people want to do it. So I think for offline, for agendas and stuff, it's great. No idea how it'll work online. We'll have to see about that. But yeah, another thing, just more options is good. More options. More game modes, more things that users can have like choice over. Yeah, another good option.
Agreed. Yeah, I'll be interested to see how it progresses. I mean, if it becomes a problem, it sounds like they're ready to take it out if they need to. So yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's wait and see.
All right, then we get on to unlimited. Now, before today, it's not a word that I wanted to see, but it is back. It's
wild they kept the name.
It is.
You don't think it's wild?
The connotations. Yeah, they're just not good. You hear unlimited, you just think sweat. Don't want to play that. Too unrewarding. Too long. There's quite a lot to it. So yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh boy, stunned. Here we go again.
That's the one thing I thought was a lock. There's the one thing I thought was absolutely certain is there's no way they're going to bring that word back into the game. When I saw it pop up in the same font and everything, like
literally just pretending nothing is wrong. But to be fair, there are some good changes. There are good changes.
It's very good. Yeah, let's run through it.
We're moving. So yeah, every game progresses you closer to getting the reward, and you cannot get relegated, which is one thing that I'd mentioned many times before. It's from FIFA side of things. You cannot get relegated. You can't get demoted. You start in the gold tier, and that's it. You're never going to go underneath that. And if you get up to the opal tier, you're never going to go lower than that. Yeah, I think that on alone is fantastic. That alone is great.
That's phenomenal. Yeah, like I talk about this, the fear factor of unlimited that's just existed for a long time.
Exactly.
Like people don't talk about it, but it's the biggest problem they've had in the game for a very long time. That immediately resolves 50% of that, and the next thing resolves the other 50% of it, I think, which is the progression side of it.
Yeah. So we get prestige tiers as well. Is that the bit you're talking about? There's a lot here.
So I'm talking about the points. So it doesn't matter if you lose the game.
Yeah, you still get points. So you
can basically lose every game and get the reward.
It might take you a while, but it
would. See, you say that, but if you actually look at the leaderboard, look at the leaderboard. Yeah, so they've chosen this graphic on purpose. The guy at the top,
5,000 points at the top,
who hasn't won a game.
0-3. I don't know if that's. I mean, but if you've got 0-3 and that can't be right because you need 100 points to get to the emerald tier. 5,000 points must send you to the moon. Like, I imagine.
They must have chosen to do that for a reason. They've literally purposely put in the fact that the guy who's number one doesn't have a win. That's clearly designed to send a message, right?
On the flip side, if you look at 6th place, he's won 3 in a row.
He's killing it.
And he's 1,000 points behind a bloke who's lost all 3.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, actually.
Like,
if you play like 10 close, high-scoring competitive games, are you going to be ahead of someone who's, even if you lost all those games, someone who's got a 50-50 record that's kind of won heavily and lost heavily? I don't think it's going to be much of the same. But at the end of the day, people have no excuse not to play unlimited. Yeah,
when it boils down to it, there's no fear factor. You're not going to get punished for losing. You're not going to waste your time for losing. I think that was one of the big things. If you go into a game of unlimited and you lose 30 minutes of your life, just gone. But now you actually get something for it. I think a lot less people quit because of that as well.
Yes. Yeah. You've got something to play for, always.
Always got something to play for. And yeah, we don't know how the point system's going to work. How much it is for a win, how much is it for loss? Does it work off point differential, points scored, whatever? But the main thing for me is like, you can't get relegated. That instantly is such a turn on for so many people. Like I said, it eliminates that fear as well, which is great. So that was a really good one to see. I saw the word unlimited and I was like, oh dear. But I saw you could get relegated. They brought me back a little bit. I
had to process it a little bit. It took me a while to process what it really means. And, and there is a top and a bottom end there that have a huge upside. The relegation going away is huge. And the fact that you just need to keep playing, hopefully, finally, for the first time in 2 years, we'll get everyone back on this mode.
Yeah.
The only thing that's left that's off-putting is like win ratios. That's the only thing that's left. If people's pride gets in the way, that's the only thing that will stop them playing.
Yeah, so we've got the leaderboards, which I guess we'll talk about. So yeah, you get top 10, get a special icon, which literally just has like number 1 through till 10. And it has the extra perk is the icon. But yeah, you get a coveted spot at the top of the leaderboard. So people will be very, very keen to keep those records intact. Obviously, the first thought is people are just going to boost it. But 2K have said, they're going to say measures will be taken in 2K23 to prevent boosting and uncompetitive behavior. Again,
what does that mean?
Uncompetitive behavior will be stalling, I guess. No, I'm trying to think of like 250k when people were getting DQ'd for that.
Uncompetitive behavior. I mean, MT stuff is usually an issue there.
That's
probably the main reason people get DQ'd from that.
Yeah, maybe if you buy MT to like have a crazy good team and then you get yourself to number 1 on the leaderboard because your team's better than everybody else, maybe they'll have a look into your account.
Maybe overall glitching.
Maybe.
That's different to boosting, isn't it?
If you're going to be top 10, have a squeaky clean record because there's going to be a lot of eyes on you from 2K and from the entire community.
It's risky.
It is. If you've got things to hide, don't get yourself in that top 10. But yeah, I mean, that doesn't really bother me. I'm not going to be getting myself on that leaderboard anytime soon. But people like it, so again, it's good that it's there. And then they also say about prestige tiers, which are making return. I think the last time they were in the game was 2K17. There was like a couple of prestige systems. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's Showdown tier with a different name. I think you'll be able to progress through Dark Matter and then go again and do that once more over and get another set of rewards. Should be better rewards, but I imagine that's how it's going to go.
Yeah. Again, I don't really know much about the prestige system I don't really know what that will be, what it will look like ultimately. But yeah, it's going to be something for the sweats because it's the hardest thing, right? It's the hardest mode for them to get right. They need to appeal to comp people. They need to appeal to casuals. They need to appeal to casuals way more than they need to appeal to comp people at the end of the day. And that's where I think they've struggled a little bit because the comp community is small but really loud on Twitter. And then, the truth is there's a few hundred of them. That is the entirety of the community. And with casuals, there's millions of them. So we need to find that balance. So the prestige thing has probably been put into attempt to appease them, but it hasn't interfered with the core game mode, which is the important thing. Because that was the issue last year.
Yeah.
But even last year with Showdown, which was catered towards that high comp level, but you ended up with people trying to get out of Emerald tier running into people on Showdown.
Yeah.
So that's also going to be interesting, is how that's going to be separated, how the matchmaking is going to go. Like, there's a lot of questions still there, but the prestige thing is the thing I would say I'm like, least clear on. I need to see how that works.
Yeah, and also how many wins we need. You know, we started last year with 64. They brought it down to 53 when they changed it to be 10 and 4. You know, it doesn't say, you know, how many wins you need to get through the entirety. I think this year you started in the silver tier, and now they're putting you at gold to start. So that's, you know, that's something. But yeah, so there's definitely a few question marks about Unlimited, but it's back. The no relegation is the biggest thing I would say for me. Leaderboards are there, which is cool.
The vault as well. We need to talk about that.
Oh, yeah, there's the vault as well. Yeah, God, I've tried to forget about that already.
I don't like that.
No, I don't. I don't like it, but by the sounds of it, it's only going to have in it a card which we're going to talk about in a bit because it's got its own segment. The Diamond Lamar Odom, so the takeoff player for a week. That's who I think is going to be in there. And if that is all it is, I think it's okay. This blog is so long, but I think I remember reading that.
So?
I think so. Let me try and find it real quick.
On top of the rewards at each tier, there is a new vault that can open after every win. That's all it says.
Yeah.
So I know you could. That's definitely how you can get him because you can get him in every game mode, right?
Yes. So Takeover Diamond Lamar Odom will be available in both vaults, so Triple Offline Vault and the Unlimited Vault. I think
there'll be more in there though.
Do you think there'll be more in there?
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
I don't think so. I'll get on to why later.
All right, you do that. The issue with the vault is it's the worst form of RNG, right? It's the only RNG where you can get nothing. So I think for that mode, I like them. Obviously, they put something in which is better than nothing.
Yeah.
But that is a sentence that we've just been saying for too long. I think this is where something like a wheel or a ball drop or something along those lines would have been way better. Again, just to incentivize people to play it.
Yeah, still random, but guarantees you at least something, whether it's 100 MT or a token. Like I said, that is better than nothing. But you might end up with nothing.
You sweat it out for 35 minutes, win by a buzzer beater, and then the vault doesn't open.
Yeah, that's kicking the teeth, isn't it?
Yeah, it will be. It'll be deflating when you shouldn't be deflated. It could be a negative over a positive.
True. Yeah, you could be on a high and it sort of brings you back down. Yeah, true.
Yeah,
we'll have to see. I mean, maybe it'll be juiced. Maybe not.
Juiced packs.
Then we've got something neither of us are going to go to unless you're making a mad old push this year. The 2K tournaments are returning. I'm not planning.
I want to make a run at it.
Yeah, I mean, have at it. So you've got to get to the Emerald tier to qualify, same as last year. But this year you only need 100 points, however long that may take you. But yeah, it all comes back. They are flying the people out. So 4 console finalists in person, which is good. Again,
massive.
That stream now for those finals will be with 10 times better. 10 times better. They're already pretty high.
That's really big. Yeah, that's really big. I mean, because it's going to change the incentive as well. Now you've got a holiday wrapped into it and all of that stuff as well.
Yeah.
For that community, which I know, but I'm not a part of. It's going to be hyped to some whole other level for them.
Yeah, they're already so competitive, but this is going to put another notch on it. So it'll be the whole experience of it will be a holiday, it will be being flown out somewhere. There'll be the experience of being at a live event. I don't know how many of these guys have been at live events over the last couple of years with COVID and whatnot.
Yeah,
it's their first experience, an in-person event, and you might.
And there's the exposure that comes with it as well.
Exactly, that's massive.
If they're looking to make content stream, most of them do stream, I think.
Yeah.
This is a huge. Look what it did for Ty.
Exactly.
When he was at the Globals, he still uses that picture as the first tournament he won in 2019. But he uses that picture because it was in person.
It just means more as well. I think it just means more than winning it when you're sitting at home. You're in person, there might be I don't know if there'll be a crowd there, but there might be a couple of people in the room or whatever.
We should go out. Where would it be? In LA, probably, right?
Should
we plan a trip to
gate crash if we're not invited?
Let's go.
We'll await and see that. But bringing them out in person is good. The fact that the qualifying system wasn't really mentioned isn't good because the qualifying system definitely needed to change. It is going to be the same, which is a massive red flag. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It wasn't mentioned.
Here's the thing with the qualifying system. People say it needs to change.
Mm-hmm.
But if you actually look at the last 2 years, the best man won every time. So they inevitably got to the outcome. Smash got disqualified, 3 times?
He scraped in, though.
So yeah, it wasn't ideal, but then there must have been a reason he was disqualified. That's nothing to do with the format. There will have been a reason for that. I think one of them, they said he was like boosting because someone stream sniped him, right, or something.
Yeah,
there was something that felt like it was out of his control, but at the end, TOS is TOS, and that's not to do with the format. That's to do with what 2K thinks is
for sure.
cheating or not. But yeah, if you go back, the best man has always won. So the format has always ultimately worked, I think.
It's led to a lot of frustration along the way, though, with people getting stalled, people getting, not qualifying. Because I think it was, I might be wrong here, but I think it was Wall on Twitch who streams. I think he was like 8th or 7th or like so close. And he got a 70% glitch on his final games. We couldn't get into that game, which would have gotten qualified. So like things like that.
That's big.
It's like, who's to say like he wouldn't have won? I don't know how good he was, but like you never know in 2K anything could happen.
There's no format that would resolve that. The problem there is that glitch exists.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's awful. They're like stalling and like is there
I don't blame them for not fixing it. I think in 2K's mind that like current gen would have been written off by now. So I just don't think they can be bothered to fix it. I don't think they're sitting there going 3 years later, this is what we expected, like double consoles, like 50-50 split again. But yeah, it is what it is.
I think we'll see some big changes in the future years to it, but for this year, it is much of the same. Then we get on to the starter cards this year. So Ja Morant, Embiid, and Jim Jimmer. Do you know who you're taking yet?
If Embiid can shoot, Embiid. If not, Ja.
I think I'm pretty much the same. I think everybody else is pretty much the same as well. Like if Embiid could shoot, it'll be like the day one center that you need to have. But if Ja,
that depends though, like because we're going to talk about the token thing in a second. So there's a whole different world, right? On day one, all of a sudden, you think like the day one center last year was Surge, right? Everyone wrote about the token market. It seems like we're going to be able to probably get a version of, I don't know, at least Cat or someone who can shoot, who's going to have a half decent free ball day one. So these cards might be like instantly irrelevant.
Outdated the day you sign it.
I mean, theoretically, you play enough TTO and there's enough tokens in there in the first couple of hours, you would never have to use these cards again.
Yeah, that's true.
It's interesting. But they've done it exactly the same, right? Literally, the requirements are the same.
Yeah,
Score 6 points. That's what it was.
6 points. Yeah, to get the first one. It doesn't say if you can take all 3. Obviously, this year you could take all 5. It doesn't say if you can take all 3 this year, but it does say if you play 10 games with your starter card, you then get an Amethyst Fred Jones, who, to my best of my knowledge, has never been in 2K before.
No, he's brand new, yeah.
Brand new, so he could be good.
Contender for Rookie of the Year on our awards next year. Remember that?
Oh, he's definitely could be, yeah. I mean, he's gonna have a high driving dunk. He was a 2004 dunk contest winner, so he's gonna have a decent dunk. He's gonna be good at driving. And early days is kind of what you need. If you can have a little bit of a 3-ball, I think it'll be a decent card. So, yeah, play 10 games. So he's basically like a starter card 2.0.
Yeah,
but you probably will run for a little bit longer than your actual starter card. So yeah, that's good. Not mad about that at all. Then we get another bit of big news. And I know something that you wanted as well. Clutch Time is back, obviously, but it's back with single player as well. So each season, 100 wins in Clutch Time online for that set of rewards, and 100 wins in Clutch Time offline for that whole side of rewards as well. Nothing but good positivity.
Is it the goal is to win 10 games in a tier without losing 3 in a row? Does it say it goes to 100 anywhere?
No, but I'm just assuming.
Yeah.
But there is still that loss requirement there. So that is one thing. That a few people were like, why did they take out of Unlimited, keep it in Clutch Time? It's lesser in Clutch Time.
Oh, I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, so it's not as much of it. Unlimited, it was scary because you lose so much time. But here,
you have to play a few extra games. It's a 5-minute game. It's
exactly. So I'm not mad at that. But yeah, I would assume it's going to be 100 each. Surely they wouldn't make the offline easier than the online. You'd think the online would be the harder grind of it. I don't know.
I guess it's going to be on like sort of TT offline difficulty, right?
Yeah, I would imagine so. Maybe like every time you go through the tiers, you start on like rookie, then go pro, superstar. Maybe it ends on superstar.
Could do that.
Potentially. I don't think it'll end on Hall of Fame. Jesus Christ.
I think it'll probably stay consistent. I mean, if they want to marry it up with online, I mean, the skill level is the same all the way through, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I would imagine it's probably just going to be a consistent all-star / superstar difficulty. It's good, man. It's just really, really good. Like, I can't play another game of Rookie Dom, and I hate TT offline. Clutch time, like offline, just it transforms the whole of level 40, doesn't it? As an experience, you've just got a way easier way and a way more fun way to get XP done. You can get quickly 5 XPs done, without. I mean, if you had like 1 point, 1 assist, 1 rebound, like I don't know, for like 3 different players, you'd have to play a game of Rookie Dom or try and find a challenge that ends quickly or whatever. Now it's just like, right, I can chuck 5 players in that all have a little bit of XP left. Get them all clocked
5 minutes, job done.
Check out, it's a big W. I think people are, as they go through the year, going to realize how big a W this is.
Yeah,
it's going to be played a lot.
Oh, I definitely think so. I don't think so. Yeah, it's all good. I mean, I don't think the rewards will be as good as online, but again, that makes sense. But for XP as well, it's great. So that's another big. It's just good to have so many more options when we're going to click on the game and we're going to click like single player or online, and you're going to see more there than we had this year. I think that's the bottom line. That's all good.
And for, neither of us kind of, I would say, prioritize playing offline. But if you do prioritize playing offline, you've just got your most fun game mode, probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's another. If it is 100 wins per season, there's another like 10 to 12 hours worth of content every season, along with all the time you can put into that by doing XP and whatnot, which is a lot less boring than going into domination. So I mean, I think for both sides of the fence, it's great.
It's huge. Yeah, that's big. Yeah,
that's big. Right.
I thought of it as a possibility. I mentioned it before, right? It would be cool to see it. I didn't think they would actually do it though. I am surprised they did it.
Really?
Probably the thing that caught me most off guard is they actually just did it. Yeah.
So I really didn't think they would do it. I thought it was another slam dunk. I thought it was another like such an obvious thing to do. You got the online side of things that people just love. It just makes sense to put the offline counterpart because people are screaming out for like, we want to play this offline. We want to play this without the stress of going online. So I wasn't too surprised, but happy to see it there. Definitely.
Agreed.
Definitely. Right. Then we get on to prize balls, which is literally just 4 lines. And that's it.
I skipped over this in my video because it looked boring. So we can discuss it now. It looks like a little Easter egg thing, but you do things and this thing smashes open and reveals something.
Yeah, so it says after a win. So I assume that means any win. You get a chance, which I despise the word chance, but it's there, to break the ball open to claim the hidden reward inside or the reward hidden inside. And it says, plus look forward to special events using these basketballs for exclusive rewards throughout the year. So does that mean if you get unlucky, you can't participate in those special events for exclusive rewards throughout the year? I'm not too sure on that. I mean, they haven't elaborated on it much, so it's clearly not a big deal. It might just be so innocuous that it's just like after 5 games, everybody pretty much gets it or something like that.
See, I don't really get it, but I know I have to do it because at some point this is going to lead to the unicorn ball again, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm not risking being behind. This is getting done. Yeah. This might be the priority. I'm not missing the unicorn ball if it pops up. So yeah, it's going to be like, again, it's just something we need to see when we get there. I don't think we can really get our head around this. But yeah, it looks like you win and something starts to explode. And if you get the whole thing to explode, you get something.
Yeah, you got to break the balls. Right.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a Michael Scott innuendo in there somewhere. But
100%. We'll leave that to Steve Carell. Fine. Moving on to a lot of this is kind of like we need to see how it's going to work and what we get out of it. But then we move on to exhibitions. So this is basically for any cards that you're not using in your lineup. You can send out 13-man lineups to be used by the AI. They won't be used, but like you kind of lock them away, but it's not an exchange, so you don't lose the players. You will get them back. But then you send them away on these different objectives. So it says, Golden Gate Bridge, sightseeing in San Francisco. You got a speed practice session. You got a house party. And then you get, after the mission expires, your players will return to you with a special reward from their mission, giving you a new passive way to improve your lineup and collection. I mean, not something I ever thought would be needed in a game, but, it's there. And if we're going to get things for doing nothing, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. It's fascinating, this, because obviously they've just lent into like every idle mobile game out there, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Which is a cash cow. And what I'm trying to figure out is how are they making this a cash cow? I guess at the end of the day, you're going to need certain players. So this isn't about playing the game or having players to be better at the game. This is about having players for the sake of having players to do effectively nothing with and stick in a lineup.
Yeah.
It's going to depending on how good these rewards are, it's going to push people to just buy.
And that's the thing. It depends. It all depends on the rules, doesn't it? If it's worth it or not, and also how long it takes or like how often you can do it. If we've got one a week and your players are out for a whole 7 days, or can you do it once a day?
Yeah.
What the rewards like? I think that would be it. But yeah, it could definitely inflate prices of gold cards, specific team cards. If they have a challenge one week and it's like, hey, you got to lose 11 Lakers this week or 13 Lakers, they're going to pump the price up because everybody's going to want to do it because it's new and exciting. So more chance to earn rewards. Again, it's something new. It's something extra. It's not replace something. So yeah, I'm down for it.
So with these like idle games, the way that they monetize them is you basically spend money to speed up the process, right? That's usually how it works.
Yes, you send something off for like 12 hours, and it's like, do you want to speed that up? You can pay for it. Oh, you thinking they're going to do that?
Well, you can see the house party thing has a timer.
The house party's got 1 day, 8-hour timer on it. Yeah.
I mean, this literally from tone to content to wording to the image is an idle mode. It's just an idle mobile app. Yeah, that's what it is. So I'm assuming it's going to lean the same way that you can use MT, VC, whatever to speed it up and get to outcomes quicker. I'm assuming that's what it is. Otherwise, I can't really understand, other than just to be maybe a bit of a MT drain because you want to get certain players. Like if they say 1 week, it's all got to be Bucks players.
Yeah,
and you've got to build a 13-man Bucks squad, and the prices are going to go through the roof.
That could be expensive, especially early game.
Yeah.
That could be hella expensive.
And if the rewards are good, it will be expensive.
All right, and then we move on to the trophy case. And we've got to say, first of all, that Derrick Rose card art, pink diamond, gorgeous. Absolutely
nice.
Gorgeous. Looks so good. That really did catch my eye. Because like the card arts that we've seen up to this point in the blog have been the Fred Jones, who, looks pretty bland. The starter cards, which, they're starter cards. You don't really expect too much from those guys. And sort of like, emeralds and sapphires. But that pink diamond Derrick Rose, that's looking rather saucy. I'm liking the look of that card. And
it's
then
got go card vibes.
It does. It does.
You don't think?
A little bit. I'm liking it. I think it was awesome. Then you look at the trophy case as well. Really, really cool idea. This concept, if done right, could be amazing. So let's break it down. So each team is going to have 15 event cards. So 450 event cards. Collect all of them. If you collect 5 division pink diamonds, there's pink diamond for 15. If you collect 5 pink diamonds, you get a Galaxy Opal. And then if you complete everything, you get 3 Dark Matter cards. Wait, what? Completing conferences and finding NBA collections will get you 399 overall players. Damn. So this does lead to Dark Matters. It is not going to be available on day 1. That'd be insane. But you will be able to earn a Galaxy Opal, which means 5 divisions, 5 pink diamonds will be available at the end of season 1. So you get 1 Opal card. But yeah, first impressions of it, first look of it.
What makes you think it's not available day 1? I'm inclined to agree with you. I'm just trying to fact check it. Why do we think?
Because it says you'll be able to earn 1 of the Galaxy Opal players from completing a division by the end of season 1.
Yeah. Okay, so you can get a Galaxy Opal by the end of season 1.
Yeah, which is still big, by the way. Like that's still
it is, yeah. So
way ahead of what we got last year. Last year, the first Opal was AI, and then the first ones in packs were LeBron and Steph Christmas Day or Boxing Day.
Season 3.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's way ahead of that, way ahead of dropping opals. But yeah, you'll be able to get 1 opal by the end of season 1. And then my thinking is, because there's obviously 6 divisions, so if they drop 1 division for season 1, 2 divisions for season 2, and then 3 divisions for season 3. So by the end of season 3, you'll be able to get the Dark Matter players. That's how I think it's going to go. It depends how long they want to drag this out for. But that's kind of my early thinkings about how long it's going to take to actually get to the end of this road.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. So I want to know, so they've got these event cards, right? So this basically replaces playoff moments and things like that throughout the year. It's almost something built in that you could just do at any point, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking, if you look at the Bulls trophy case, Pippen's NBA 75 jacket. So is that the name of the event card?
Yeah, so it does give you...
You will have to do something to get that jacket.
Yeah, so it doesn't tell you exactly how we're going to get all of them. So again, there's still quite a few question marks, but it says earn trophy case cards throughout my team, including at the top of each mode's seasonal prizing. So at the top of each mode's seasonal prizing. So kind of tells me you've got to complete every single game mode in Myteam to be able to get these, which is intense. So if you're talking 100 triple offline, 100 triple online, X amount of unlimited, whatever that may be, draft, limited, triple threat online, limited, if I didn't say that. You know,
it kind of solves a problem. It does solve a problem because the problem's coming later, right? Which is the takeover thing, which is in every mode, right? Which stops you having to complete every mode.
Yeah.
So if they've switched it from like, you get one card for TTO, one card for unlimited, they basically just put one card in and gone, right, get it however you want, doesn't matter. So if this becomes right, well, you've got to complete unlimited to get this
will be the token
card.
you need from each game mode. Yeah.
That solves that problem because that is something I was concerned about. Like, are people just going to play clutch time offline for the rest of the year because they get everything they need from that mode? Which it'll be good. It'll be good. This is great. I mean, this is just like you said. It's 450 things to do. That is, tied in with the stuff we've got coming up. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but there's 5 dominations, all that kind of stuff as well. There is just a ton to do. Like if you'll get to a point in the first season where you've got nothing to do, you have to go outside.
Like, and maybe some grass that needs touching.
You have to go outside. You need to have a shower, go on a date, go on holiday, visit some friends, whatever you need to do. You've overplayed this game. You've overplayed this game to some whole other level. And this, how can you knock it? There's nothing to knock here. It's creative. It's intelligent. I love the fact that the things are what they are. Historic team photo, and then there's a
it's
jersey.
Aesthetically so pleasing, isn't it?
Yeah,
you look at it and you think that's a collection that I actually want to complete. That looks sick.
Yeah,
and if you've got a favorite team, you're going to be itching to get your team's history sort of completed. I will say I hope there are going to be some spotlights, sort of scenario spotlights. So to get some of these, you got to play like who's in here. So like we've got. Loves 49-point game ball, score 49 points with a ball player or something like that. And if you've got like the Blazers with Lillard's 3-point shot at the end in the playoffs, score a 3 with Lillard in the last second or whatever, or like the Rockets with T-Mac scoring the 14 in 30 seconds or whatever it was. I'd love to see some type of scenarios sick. That I think that would be sick. And when I first saw this, I sort of thought it was going to be. Didn't mention that, but they haven't accounted for all of the cards, so that would be epic to do that. And they do like doing that because they've got the MJ challenges coming back, which is scenario based. So
this is literally a dream for you, isn't it, for streaming?
It's nice.
I'll be calling it when it's there. This is the best thing that's ever happened for streamers. For like full-time streamers, this is huge. Because again, it's that creativity aspect of it. Like even Domination, right? You can say however long you play it, 16 hours. It's not interesting or fun to either do or watch. This is something that's just going to bring a real freshness to the kind of progression of your day playing this game. Like how the next hour might be very different to the last hour, which again is something we've struggled with for a while. People tend to go on a game mode, stay on that game mode, they check out, do something else the next day. This has the potential just to create a whole mix up in how your day goes playing on this game, or even what you do in an hour could change from 10 minutes to 10 minutes. So it's great. I love it.
Yeah. Big fan. The rewards look decent as well. The fact that you're going to get dark matters at the end of the road. You get the pink diamonds, which are going to be good. This year we had pink diamond Mellow usable for a good couple of months. Yeah, they used to say that Derrick Rose is going to be around for a couple of months. He could be around for a while. And the sets themselves, they just look awesome, don't they? They're a set you can look back on like the last day of the year and be like, yeah, that was sick. Look at that collection. Like that looks awesome. They did great there. So yeah, I think that's a great one. That was the first one I saw that I was like, you got me there a little bit. You
know what? I kind of skipped past this a little bit on my video on this, but it is a big deal. Like when I look at these blogs, I'm always like, what are they trying to achieve, right? And they'll usually tell you directly, and people will skip over that part of the blog just to look at the specifics. But if you actually look at it, like if you look at the last sentence, if you play across all the modes in Myteam. That is the start of the last sentence. That's what this is designed to achieve.
Yeah.
And that's a monumental W if that's the outcome that it creates.
Yeah. I think so. The rewards look like they're going to be on par with what you got to put into it. Because if you have got to complete every game mode, that is going to be pretty intense. But if the rewards kind of match that, you're not going to be mad at it.
I just think it's been so long since we've seen people in certain modes. And I think the fun factor went when that stopped, like we go back to 20 and, people say it was a pandemic or whatever. No, it wasn't. It's because we had such few things to do that we spent all of our time playing online against other people, whether it's TTO, Unlimited, whatever. And it's just been so lost over the last 2 years to get people back on TTO, to get people back on Unlimited. It will just change the whole dynamic, because the reason people don't want to play those modes is because other people don't want to play those modes. It's just a vicious cycle. You just don't want to run into a super sweat every game. So if there's more people just jumping onto every game mode, that is the biggest W that 2K can take at the start of this game. So if this is designed to do that.
And without fear of losing as well. You know, just going into these games, doing this for these rewards and without fear of losing as well. Yeah, I think that's a huge ass dub. Then we go on to the only mention of the token market in the blog, and that is the Series 1 collection. So for the first time in my team, all current NBA players will launch as rewards in the new token market, and they will also be option packs as well. Earn tokens and redeem them for your favorite current players immediately, and they show, they show a free agent. Oh no, that's for the next one. We'll get onto that in a minute. But yeah, so that's there. Option packs coming back, great. All of them being in so like Series 1. I'm trying to think of Series 1 cards this year who were great. But that was base set this year, wasn't it? Not Series 1. They come out at the same time.
I mean, I remember early days people were using like Emerald, Michael Red, and cards like that because they could shoot. I don't entirely get this. Do you fully get this? So they're saying that the cards are in the token market, but it's an option pack.
Yeah.
So they're saying every card is in the token market. It literally says every.
That's going to be a lot of cards.
So where does your option pack come into it?
I think it's going to be maybe each team will have 3 option packs. So 5 players per. I think you have 15 players per collection, don't you? So there's 450 players in like a Series 1. So instead of having like 450 people in the token market, I think they'll have 3 per team, maybe, which is still 90 options in the token market. That's still a lot. Or maybe it would be the top rated ones. I'm not too sure, but either way,
it says all current NBA players.
Yeah, that's going to be a hell of a lot of people in the token market. Jesus. Navigating that is going to be...
Like, let's say they put them all in there. I still don't understand where the option packs come into it. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. They've communicated this in a very confusing way. Either there's 450 players in there, or there's 450 players within option packs. If they're within option packs, why are they within option packs? If what they mean by option packs is like you get every card from the option pack, so like you can pick up 5 Bucks players, you get 5.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand it.
No, I mean, I think it's very much for like that first week. You know, when you move past that first week, nobody's going to be taking a Series 1 card from the token market. So it'll help out on like day 1, maybe the first couple of days, depending on how much tokens they cost as well. But past that, I don't think we've really got much to say. Like, so there's definitely some question marks over it as well.
I mean, option packs is potentially something that could continue in the token market throughout the year.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it's just good to see that word back again. Option packs is good. You know, option, that's good to see. We want that. Yeah. Glad to see it back.
Better than chance.
Better than chance. God, I hate that word. It's 5 times in this blog. Not that I counted, but it's 5 times that it comes up in this blog. But like Chrome did the counting for me. Like search for the word and it had 5 hits, and I was like, oh great. But anyway, let's move on to season 1. So first level 40.
I'm so excited to talk about this
of the year. Scottie Pippen, small forward, power forward, buzzing. Did he get an award? Did we give him an award for?
Got 2.
He got 2 awards, did he? The Galaxy Opal Scottie Pippen. What did we give him?
He got Galaxy Opal.
He got Best Opal.
And underrated.
Oh, valid. Yeah, good win, Scottie. I agree with those picks.
Held it down. Bro, this is such a big win. Like, I didn't do Steph, I regretted it. I didn't do Melo, I kind of half regretted it. Like, it would have been nice to have him, but I'm glad I didn't do the grind, because I told you I always slow burn.
Yeah.
Every year. I don't know if they heard me. It feels like they heard me say back to back, I slow burn the start of the game, don't play the first season, and Scottie Pippen was the best opal in the game. It's almost like they heard those 2 things back to back and went, you think you're not going to play the first season? No chance. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm so excited. It's such an awesome choice for a card.
He is going to be elite. The card art is gorgeous as well. I really do like that. And he is going to have longevity. He is going to be around for a good couple of months. He's going to have the defense. This is going to be, you know, it'll probably be high 80s, maybe into the 90s, which even at the start of the game, you know, you can't, 4 months down the line, you're still going to be getting similar stats from other players. His 3 ball won't be massively high, but I'm sure he'll be able to hit it. It's gonna be a great card. As the season
It's
one
the
level 40
badges,
goes.
it's the badges. You know he's coming straight out the gate with clamps, interceptor, intimidator, all of that. It's gonna be. The thing about Pippen is he's a cone at the end of the day, right? He'll lock down and he'll shoot. But he is the best lockdown and shoot card. People say it's Kawhi. I've always said it's Scottie. It's that's the next best thing, like, or the next closest thing is us getting a big diamond Kawhi.
Yeah, definitely.
In the first season, that's how people need to see this. Yeah, it's huge.
It's massive. I mean, put him on ball for all of your games, and you're set.
Yeah, your opponent's screwed.
Exactly. So I'm really excited. I saw that and I was like, you know what? I'm actually really happy. 2 years ago, I'd have been like, God damn it! But after playing with him so much this year and how good that Opal card was, yeah, I'm down with that. And then there's a Bulls theme through season 1 as well. You got Steve Kerr, Bill Cartwright, Tony Kukoc.
Love that as well.
Horace
I love that as well.
Yeah.
I love continuity, the synchronicity of it all. Yeah. The fact that it's Bulls that lead to a Bulls player. Also, just on topic for Pippen, the other award he came up with was longevity.
Yeah.
That was the other one where he came up with the conversation. The fact that they've actually looked last year and gone, we put 5 cards in that longevity list and he was one of them.
Damn.
And just gone, right, let's put one of those cards in season 1.
Yeah. Why not? We're high on him right now. People like the name. People know how good he is in 2K. Sort of like now they've been exposed to it. So I think before last year, he'd never really been that guy in 2K. They'd already given him a bit of a rough jumper. But last year he had a transformation. Not quite the level of MJ, but he had a transformation to the point where people wanted him in their squads. I think he was in 2K squads. We're sat at the end of the year and we were like, looking back, he was that guy this year. We gave him 2 awards. So I'm really excited.
I voted for him for my Dark Matter small forward as well, the Invincible one.
Oh yeah, you did, yeah. And that was even one of the first Invincibles that got dropped as well.
Yeah, this is such a big W. It's
absolutely,
big W. It's massive.
Yeah.
And Kukoc is a W as well, and Horace Grant.
Yeah,
they're both going to be usable.
If it's in the way that they've listed it, Horace Grant will be level 32, so he'll be the diamond, and Tony Kukoc will be the amethyst, so he'll be level 20.
Yeah, they'll both be running.
Yeah, they'll be decent. Again, like in that first season, it'll be pretty decent. You get free agent Giannis, which is neither here nor there. But yeah, level 40, huge dubs. I'm definitely more excited than I was last year for Melo. I remember seeing Melo and thinking he's probably not going to shoot corner threes. Never really get along with Melo cards that much, but Scottie Pippen
next gen?
This year I'll play next gen, but last year not so
That's what I'm saying. Have you committed to it?
Yeah, I've committed. There's a few things that have just in this blog as well. I think have been new gen only. We have the gameplay blog. Of course, we've already done a podcast deep dive on. There were a lot of things in there that were like new gen only.
Hang on the ribbon, current gen.
I've got to be doing that. That's a selling point.
Yeah, it's still better than anything in this blog.
Next gen for sure. I think for a lot of people as well. Season 1, big dubs, and then we get a seasonal player card. So this is what we've been speaking about a little bit earlier with a diamond takeover Lamar Odom. So he is going to be available in both vaults. So triple threat offline and unlimited vault, triple threat online co-op, the clutch time wheel spin. He's the grand prize for the draft, which we'll talk about in a second. And he's also on the wheel for logging in all 7 days of the week. And then also, you'll be able to get him by completing agendas each week. So he is just going to be plastered everywhere. And that is going to be the same every week. There'll be a new player there. I will say I love the fact that you can guarantee yourself the card. There's a lot of random chances when they say, like, all right, you can complete agendas to get them. I think that's great. I think it probably could have done with just being agendas. I don't think there was a need to plaster him in all the different game modes. I think they could have had their respective cards. But the fact you can get him from agendas, I think, is great. The fact that he's a grand prize in the draft ascension is interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you remember what I said before about how, like, the reason for this? Mm-hmm. It's always the last sentence. Which is the reason that they've decided to do this. And the last sentence here is, and for a direct route. They've started a sentence with and, which has annoyed me immediately. And for a direct route, takeover players will also be available by completing agendas each week. This is them literally going, okay, we've heard your complaints about RNG.
We know you don't like it. Here you go.
We're going to leave RNG in for everyone who likes it. They can go get it that way.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, go grind offline or do whatever you want to do and knock out these agendas. So that's what this is. That's the whole purpose of this, is to say we're not 100% reliant on RNG. We're going to show you straight out the gate. We're going to put it in the blog. that's the entire purpose of this. To be honest, doesn't really make sense. Like, why are we getting the same reward?
It seems like it feels like by the end of like the first day, we'll all have Lamar Odom, and we'll all be fed up of seeing Lamar Odom.
Yeah,
because he's just.
I don't know what the longevity on this is.
Yeah, I mean, it's great that we're going to get weekly cards. I think that is fantastic. You know, we're going to get a card.
Yeah, the weekly thing changes it massively.
Yeah, that's great. And they also say so for season 1, there'll be 8 collections to complete with amethyst and diamond rewards. The most common cards pulled from packs, which is a special event that runs alongside the takeover sets as well, I think. Keep the flow.
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all.
Yeah, launch. Well, that's nothing to do with the takeoff set.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all. Well, I've read it again. I still don't understand what it means. For season 1, there will be 8 collections to complete with amethyst and diamond rewards for the most common cards pulled from packs. That means nothing to me.
It's like injury cards and gold cards.
Bring contracts back just for that.
Yeah, Victor. Oh god, contracts be the best thing ever.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
No, but we're gonna get the takeover player 1 per week, and it'll be on a repeating basis, and it will be plastered over the entirety of the game modes. But you will be able to guarantee yourself getting it, which is, you know, crying out for that for ages. You know, you see an incredible card in the vault. You know, you really, really want to get him, and you play 1,000 games, you don't get him. Now at least you're gonna get that chance.
Yeah.
Not chance. You're going to get the guarantee, not the chance.
It's a bit contradictory to the rest of the blog. I think because the rest of the blog's really aimed at like play everything, right? And this is the one where it's like actually just play what you want to play, for the same outcome. So it's interesting because it kind of goes against what they're trying to achieve in the rest of the blog. I think.
You think maybe they've already put? You think they already think they've put so much elsewhere that this is kind of just like sprinkling a little bit of
maybe
the something
the edge off.
Yeah,
go. This is the one incentive you have to play the mode that you want to play.
Yeah, I think so. And then we get on to the sort of little stuff, the sort of like tweaks to what we've got already. So triple the offline. This is actually a big change, actually. So yeah, they're not increasing the amount of wins each season. It's gonna, you know, reset every season. That's great. That's great because so quickly you can get to a point where you're so far behind. You look at it and you just think, that's it. You know, there's just no point. Everybody does, you know. Rix is the only guy that kept on top of this year.
He didn't even finish it.
He didn't. He didn't. But
nobody gets past November and has any intention of going, I'm going to finish this. Like, the game is redundant other than for XP by November.
Yeah. So this is great. This gives it a breath of fresh air every season. I mean, this is
yeah,
great.
It's good.
I mean, if you do have a lot of burst of, you know, sort of motivation, because I think it is one of those game modes where you get some motivation and you can knock out sort of like 20 games a day or whatever, but then you might have another week where you're like, I can't stand that, and you don't play it at all. But that's not really going to hurt you too much anymore. So that's great. Whereas previously, if you fell behind, if you took a month off, you look at it, and it's the start of a new season, you're then suddenly like 300, 400 games behind. And you're already playing for rewards that are old and outdated and not up to date. So up-to-date rewards, you know, a way to stay on top of it every season. I think that's good. I think it'll only get more people playing it.
They have to, right? Because like clutch time is going to take over a lot of what TT was used for.
Yeah.
So they've got to find another reason to get people to play it. Otherwise, it will become redundant, like completely. I'm doing pretty much all of my XP in clutch time. To be honest, the last like 4 or 5 seasons, I did all my XP online. Like it got to that point where it was just more fun to do it in clutch time or TTO or whatever. But clutch time, if I'm going to do it offline, clutch time's a better option.
Yeah.
So yeah, weekly updates is good. You know, the kind of refresh every season, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just another like it's a nice little change. I'm not mad at it. It's good. I think I'll get more people playing it. It might get me playing it.
Well, you're going to get the kind of weekly update from the takeover card in there every week as well. So it will kind of refresh every week.
Yeah.
And then the whole game mode will refresh every season. Good. Yeah.
Good. Right. Domination. Let's talk about the cornerstone of my team, Domination. 2K23.
Can we have a second to acknowledge that sentence?
Oh, it's not me. That's the blog. It's not me. I didn't say that.
Anyone watching this video, if you agree with this sentence, leave it in the comments right now. The cornerstone of my team is domination. The mode that no one expected to be back.
2K's words, not mine, just for the record. But yeah, this was the first time I read the blog today, and I was like, boy, have you lost your damn mind. They are going to launch with five sets of 33 games. We ended the year this year with 7 sets. They're going to start the year with 5 sets of 33 games. There's 165 games, so roughly 60, 70-ish hours worth of domination games, spanning current, golden, modern age, NBA champions, all-time, whatever. So first one gets you Amethyst Julius Randle. Second one, Diamond Mitch Richmond. Third one, Diamond Mike Bibby. Fourth one, Diamond Bill Walton. And then the fifth one, Pink Diamond, Hondo John Havlicek. It's a lot of domination.
It is.
It's scary
what people have asked for.
I don't know if people ask more dominations.
I don't know. I feel like the whole mode feels very conflicted.
Yeah.
I don't know what the direction is, because they're telling you to play everything and grind out everything to get everything. And then they just stick 5 dominations alongside it. Like, that's not going to take you weeks. I'm not going to complain about it, because I literally said this, right? What they won't get away with is releasing 1 domination, 2 months later releasing another domination and calling that grindable content. Like, they weren't going to get away with that next year. I wouldn't have said the solution was to release 5 at once. Maybe 1 every 2 weeks would have been great.
But it's the cornerstone, bro.
I mean, the whole thing falls down without it. I don't know what to make of this. People are going to do it. There's going to be some psycho who's going to go out and do this all back to back and be the first person to get it.
It'll be an 80-hour stream on day one.
Couple
of days.
I don't know who it's going to be. Maybe Carlo, he'll stream enough to do that. I don't know. I just why is there 5? What?
I don't know the
best thing about this is the whole Michael Jordan era thing, right? So some of these games are going to be presented with the
old school
graphics and presentation, which I love. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah,
I know it's like a gimmick, but it's an awesome. It's like the unicorn ball gimmick, but it's great. It's a elite gimmick. That is one, so that's good. But yeah, I don't know what we're going to do here. Do you need to complete all of them to get Pink Diamond Hondo? Is that what this is saying?
So they don't specify. If we go by what they've done previously, it might be the 33 stars in each domination to sort of unlock the next one. I imagine that's what it's going to be. So you're still looking at, I can't do this math, but 11, 22, 33, 44. And then you have to complete that one. So 44. So 77 games, I think, would get you Pink Diamond Hondo if you have to play 11 games to get the 33 stars. I think, bad at maths, but that's still like a long time. 77 games is still 30-ish, 35 hours worth playing.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And you got to think, that the 4th one gives you Diamond Bill Walton. But we've already established at the top of this blog, you can have an opal by the end of season 1. Who's getting through 4 dominations in the first season with all the other stuff that we've got? Because now we're saying, there is so much other stuff out there. Now you've got your clutch time offline. You got your triple threat online with your mates. Who's going to be getting this domination reward when it's actually relevant and usable? I don't know. I was really hoping that the minutes would be changed. I think that could have saved this big time. And they had me in the first half.
It still might.
I don't think it will, because they say there are 2 new changes coming to the mode, and I was like, oh boy, they've done it. Neither of the changes are. So they say about the presentation, and then they also say about how you earn stars. Now, somebody did have a good sort of point about this. So you've got to win by a certain amount of points now. And somebody was like, all right, maybe when you hit that points threshold, the game ends. You know how challenges do. But
that would be good.
It would be great. But, surely it's got to start off quite mellow. In current domination, you can't be saying, hey, win by 25 for the people that are just starting out. Probably win 5 or 10. I mean, you could do 5-0, 10-0, and the game would be done in a couple of seconds.
I'm assuming those 5 dominations will increase in difficulty quite dramatically, right? From 1 to 5. So there'll be something in there for someone who's just picked it up that probably they can win by 25. One of the big questions here is any of this going to matter? Because this year, the star system, you got 3 stars for it anyway.
Yeah. I think that's why they had to change the system, because they were like, the other one was broken and it didn't actually work.
I mean, if we come out the gate and it doesn't work again, because they've left glitches like that in the game for years previously. Like TTO, the glitch has been there for years. There's nothing to say that this actually been fixed. We could come out the gate and they could just give you 3 stars for winning the game. If it is that though, if it is you hit the marker 15-point lead or whatever.
Oh, amazing.
Or set amount of points it says. So yeah, whatever, 60 points. I'm assuming you have to be winning.
Yes. Yeah.
That was see, it doesn't kind of specify that enough, I would say, for that to be the case. Yeah. My guess is you have to win the game by X amount of points in.
Yeah, I think they're all going to be full games, 5-minute quarters. Yeah. I don't think we're going to see a change there, which is a massive disappointment. I think that's the major, the one thing that I'm really disappointed about is that the fact they've chucked 5 at us on day one is kind of ludicrous. I'm not going to lie.
It is crazy. I'm not going to criticize it because it's a lot of content. I'm never going to criticize too much content. This is too much content.
Yeah, by far. On the first day, it's an unhealthy amount.
Definitely better ways to do it, but I'm not going to, like, if they want to drop 5 and people have got the time to go through it, as long as it has a level of relevancy for the season, fine. There is people that will get through 5 dominations in a season. There are people that play nothing but that mode. So it's there for a purpose. The other thing we don't know is what are the rewards along the way, what you get for winning a game, what you get for winning the five games on each tier or whatever. For all we know, they could come out the gates, chuck a bunch of Hoff badges in here, and everyone's just playing 5 dominations for a week. So not to be figured out still. But yeah, I think it's a win. I mean, like I said, too much content is for the complaints that we've had over the last 2 years. I feel ridiculous complaining about too much content. Just seems stupid.
I think there's ways to go about it, and I don't think 5 dominations was the way to go about it, but it's what we've got, you know. And God, I'm probably going to do it. I think I just hate it because I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, that's a full week.
So much time, isn't it? And you know, like you say, it's not good to play. It's not good to watch. It's not fun either way. But it's just one of the things that you kind of have to do to get. I mean, you're going to have to do it to get the trophy as well. I think that was mentioned as one of the ways to get a trophy.
Oh, that's true.
Case. So domination is going to have to be done for that as well. So those trophy cases suddenly become a massive grind.
Like which isn't a bad thing in its own right. If you run out of things to do, honestly, go outside. Please go outside. I will put up a safety notice, a PSA 2 weeks into the season saying, you know, have a shower.
Slow down. If you're getting anywhere near it, slow down.
Call your partner, see if you're still in a relationship, all of that stuff. Yeah. Like
I agree. Cool. We move on to challenges. I think the challenge is coming back. Not much to talk about there. It's much of the same.
Yeah.
There's a new lineup helper that's been added to, you know, make your line. So if you try to go into a game and you've got 1 card missing from a bull or whatever, it's going to say, hold up, you need another bull. That's fine. You know, a little quality of life improvement there.
It's a big one, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they added the limited rings, didn't they? They added limited rings to help you sort of figure out a team there. But you could still be faffing around for like half an hour thinking, why the fuck does this team not work?
When they went to like divisions and stuff, and then sometimes they just have like random parameters that you could never even predict from what you're reading. It's actually big. Like, there's more on this later, right? Where they talk about the XP thing. I think we'll get onto where there's like you can pause and see what's up.
Yeah.
The less I have to use Excel, like actual physical paper and pen,
or like external things.
Yeah. Just put it all in the game. Like, all the solutions I need, put it in the game. So that is one of those. That is a solution. Yeah.
It's a great quality of life improvement. You know,
I like it.
It's great. Yeah. And so that's going to be for challenges, and then it will be for limited
as well. Yeah.
As well. Some PS5 exclusive challenges for a diamond shoe. That's there. Then we go on to limited. So limited. You know, lineup requirements work as well, but this time for rewards.
You said you wanted this.
Finally getting all 6. I did indeed, and you also get them on the week as well. So that first week that it drops, you get the ring. You're going to get that one ring reward instantly. 5 rings if that's a Hoff badge. When you hit that 5 rings, you get the Hoff badge, and then the 6th one, you're going to get the grand prize as well. That's great. So every season this year, I stopped at 5. I stopped short of getting the grand prize because I wanted the Hoff badge instead. Now I've got to play extra. Now I've got that reason to keep on playing, which is great. And I think it's going to get a lot more people playing as well. There is still no way to go back and retrospectively earn a ring, but I think this alleviates that a little bit because you do get more rewards along the way.
Like I said, we don't know everything as well. There may be something along those lines. There might be something along the lines of beyond level 40 or something in XP as well.
Maybe.
We don't know everything yet. It's good. Like, for lack of a better term, the way to get done things is like you do the whole thing and then you get like the payoff at the end, right?
Yeah.
It's been with everything. It's going to come. I think the draft is next as well, where you get like the essential board after every game rather than having to wait until the end, play for 5 or 6 hours or whatever, and then you get the payoff. And it always felt a bit deflating, didn't it? Like, if you don't get what you need at the end of it, it's just like, oh. And this was the worst example of that, because this was literally 6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks of waiting.
And if it was disappointing, you were like, well, I've literally played this for 6 weeks and the payoff's just terrible. Now they pretty much can navigate that. It'll be interesting to see what the other things are, because the diamond contract's going to come out, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, just massive improvement.
Great change. Moving on to the draft next. And the draft, you can go into the draft with MT now. Obviously, that completely depends on how much it's actually going to cost. But it's good to know that option is going to be there. And then
I'm going to guess right now it'll be 15,000.
You think 15K? FIFA has it as 15,000 coins. So it would be kind of on par with what they do. I'd say
it's 7,500 VC, right? It was last year.
Yeah. I'd want to say 10K MT. Based off of what we had this year with the rewards you got back out of it, like, you weren't getting 10K back out of it. So if you got to pay 15K to enter it, I don't think you're ever going to be getting profit out of that. Maybe you probably would in season 1, to be fair. It'll be in that ballpark, won't it? It'll be like 10 to 20K. If it's more than that, that's ridiculous. If it's less than that, it's not going to be less than that.
It won't. I think 15K is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
I think it'll be around, certainly within 2,500 of that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So again, with this, like we just said, you get the essential board after every win, right?
Yeah. So after every win in the draft, you get the picks on the essential board, which is good. Again, it gives you that instant gratification and the satisfaction of like, oh yeah, I have one and I've got a reward for it as well. You haven't got to wait. So I think that's good. The fact that the draft grand prize is just going to be that takeover player each week.
Weird. Doesn't make sense.
Really does.
It doesn't make sense. This thing does not make sense.
Take away from the entire draft mode, surely.
Well, why would you play it if you've got it off? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I think they've given other reasons, right? Like this trophy case. There's other reasons to play other modes. But if you're going to call it the grand prize, it's the headline of that mode. And if most people are going to have it before they even think about playing it, it is weird. There's something that's not syncing up. Like I said, there's a conflict throughout all of this. It's like, we want you to play everything, but also just play this.
It's a strange one. Like I say, when I saw Ascension Grand Prize and I was like, but I can get that by agendas, I didn't understand that. But another good quality of life change we've got, at least, is the ability to edit your starting lineup before jumping into a game. Brilliant. The amount of times you get a draft and they put your Dartmouth LeBron on the bench or whatever, and every time you'd have to go in and change it. But nowadays, you don't have to worry about that. Saves you time. Happy days. More than happy with that. More than happy with that.
Did we skip over the triple threat defensive settings or no?
I don't think we've got to it yet.
No, we did.
Did we? Wait, where's triple threat? Where's it gone? Oh god, triple threat was ages ago. Jesus. Yeah. It's a little bullet point, isn't it? Yeah. So new gen players.
Changing the starting lineup triggered that thought for some reason.
Yeah. New gen only. New gen only. We'll be able to set matchups and change defensive settings on the fly during triple threat games. So yeah, again,
it comes
brilliant.
up later anyway as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So many people wanted that. Again, just another happy
campers.
Happy campers. And then what have we got left?
The draft. Go back to the draft. The one thing they haven't said is how the draft works, which makes me think it's going to be the same.
Pick 3 out of 5.
Yeah,
definee. If it was pick
so?
5, I think they would have said. I really hope it's pick 5 as well. The 3 just always makes you feel a little bit like when you pick 3 randomly and then it says, oh, you missed Galaxy Opal Steph. And it's like, oh, great. Thanks, 2K. Thanks for rubbing that one in. I don't think it's changed. I think if that had changed, they would have mentioned it because that is a big thing that a lot of people wanted. So I think we're going to be sticking with the same on that one. All right, so moving on from the draft, we then get to rewards from the W. It doesn't mention players, uniforms, logos, and player coaches, which is still good. And hopefully it does open the door for actual players to be integrated later on throughout the year. I think it's only a positive. I'm happy that it's there. I don't know of many people who actually play the W, but this might get a few more people playing it. You know, if there's some nice jerseys in there, I mean, they've got a few of them there, but they're quite nice. You know, the Aces jerseys, they're quite nice. So I think it's good player coaches as well. You know, we had Candace Parker, Diamond one. I think a lot of people used her as a coach when she came out. So another nice change.
Coach,
another nice addition, really. And then what have we got after that?
I don't have anything else to say on that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's just nice, isn't it? It's just like good. You know, it's good that they're getting included in it.
Yeah, it's good. It's step in the right direction. That classic
100%.
Yeah, that's what it is.
100%. So the triple online, the only thing to mention is you can now again do online setting or do defensive settings like you could in triple threat. So again, good, much needed change. Most people said, you know, we really need this. The corners are dropping far too often. Whether or not it'll actually fix that, you know, because I think you could have the settings, but the problem would still be there. Whether or not fix that, who knows? But at least you can try and stop it.
It's going to be full court pressing.
Yeah, true.
That's all it's going to do.
It depends if one of those options is actually there. You know, it might not give you. Hopefully, it won't give you the option to.
I think it will.
Do you think it will? I mean, it does in current gen. Yeah. So.
I think that on the fly settings, it's going to be in game. It's going to be zone, full court press, all that stuff. You're not going to be able to go in and change matchups, things like that. On the back end and the pause menu.
Yeah.
But in game, anything you can do. The other thing is the boards, bro. On this, so they got rid of the 100. They're back to 10 and 3, or 7 and 3 technically. The thing that we want to know, okay, if it's going back to 2K20, great. Not a problem as long as the spinners come back.
Spinners were big for MT and tokens. They were big. I didn't even realize that, to be honest. Yeah, 10 game and 3, because I thought that's what we were running with anyway. But nowadays it's you can lose 5. Yeah, it's win 5, lose 5. So this is actually quite a bit of a hike up.
It's technically been 4 and 6 to get to the top board.
No, I think you could lose 5 and then win 5 and get there. I think you could lose 5 in a row to be 0 and 5 and then win 5 and you still get to. Oh no, win 5 and then lose 5. Sorry, so you win your 5, then you lose your 5, and the final game is with like a few points left.
But if you lose that game, you still win.
Yeah, you still saw the board though. Yeah, I think 5 and 5 is what you had to do. You had to win 5 and then lose 5, right. which is still right. You had to win 50% of your games. It's super easy. Yeah, actually, I didn't even realize that I was back here. Actually, 10 games.
It's interesting because it's like the lack of information on that it's like with the draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've told us all these things about the draft, but the one thing we really wanted to know is how do we draft a team? They haven't told us, and this is kind of like they've left out a key piece of information that we'd want to know.
Yeah,
which is if we are going back, if you're going to say the format from 2K20 and 2K21, if that's the line you're going to use, that means spinners.
Yeah.
If the spinners aren't there, then you're not running the format of 2K20 and 2K21.
And it's making it harder for the same rewards, yeah.
Yeah. But if we go back to that without the spinners, I mean, all they've done is just made it tougher to get to the top board. That's literally it, right?
Yeah, and just taking a step back to where they were 2 years ago. You know, that's not progression. That's just complete regression. So, yeah, again, a lot of these things do have a lot of question marks, and it is going to be that day one. Hands on the game, check it out, see what it looks like. I think we're going to get a lot of answers then. But if they've got spinners, I think that's going to be good. Because when they were taken out, everyone was like, God damn, why did you do that? Bring them back. They didn't do that. They did kind of, remedy it a little bit. They let us have a year when we could go 50% and get to the top of the board, which was nice. It was so easy for most people, I'd say, to get to the top. Now, 10 game, 3 loss. Yeah, I didn't even clock that. Honestly, I really didn't even.
It's one of those things where I sometimes think they do this to teach us a lesson, right? Stop complaining or we'll make it worse. And I think TTO was that. Did you ever complain about the spinner format? Was that something you had an issue with?
No, I don't think anybody looked at the spinners and thought, God, I wish they'd to be removed.
Why people who complained about that? Because they found it so hard to get the reward in the corner, so everyone complained. So they put in the new version, which makes it easier to get the reward, but takes away all the MT.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're getting unless you got Kazzy Russell last year or Paul Silas,
you're
trading hundreds of thousands of MT for cards you're not going to use. Like, be very careful what you say when you criticize this game.
Maybe that's why
they give you what you want. You might not like it.
Maybe that's why they're giving us 5 dominations because we made such a fuss about that. They're like, shut the fuck up, bro. Have 5 doms. Have that.
6 weeks of gameplay. Just
oh, maybe I need to start praising domination. Otherwise, we'll get 10 next year.
I'm serious, bro. Like, people need to really think. Unlimited's a good example. We hated 12-0. All right, here you go. It's 120 and 15 or whatever they made it off.
Yeah.
12-0's gone. You know, you don't need to win every game now, but you're never going to play this mode again.
True.
That's
true.
That.
Christ.
On a serious note, if they do bring the spinners back, that's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Another thing that's been improved on this year and was also a big improvement this year over last year was the collector rewards. So I think in 2K20, it was literally like 8 things. It was nothing. This year was 58, and we're now moving up to 75, which is great. So collector player cards, how you rise up through the collector levels. There's going to be more an emphasis on collecting all card types with exclusive rewards for adding jerseys, courts, and more to your collection, which they already counted as cards. So I'm not sure what they mean by that, because like jerseys, courts, like every card collected counted towards your collector level, apart from like your consumables and shoes and whatnot. So I'm not sure about that.
Exclusive rewards for adding jerseys, courts, and more cards to your collection.
Oh, to be fair,
they're talking about lock-ins.
I was just about to say, yeah, because you could have like every jersey in the game, but they wouldn't be locked in, and you wouldn't get anything for them.
Yeah.
Maybe you now have every jersey in the game, you're actually going to get a lock-in. That'll increase the value of jerseys and courts. So people open up packs. That's great if you get like a reward pack and it's just got like 2 jerseys in it and a gold player. But you have a look at those jerseys and actually worth a decent chunk of change because they'll lock in for something. It can be quite nice. But yeah, more collect level for me is great. I love the collect level grind this year. Got 4,000 cards, got Dirk. You know, it really was a big pushing force for like the entirety of the year. And when I hit Dirk, that really did kind of change things because you're chasing that goal, and then when you hit it,
so hard.
When you hit it, you're like, what do we do now then?
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those. So it's only 5 reward levels. It'd be interesting to see if it is 4,000 cards again. If they lower it or higher it, you know, who knows? But I'd imagine it's probably going to be 4,000. But more rewards is happy days.
My entire experience with this is going to be the same as it is every year when I go into the XP thing and it says you got 10,000 MT, and I'm like, where the hell did I get this from?
Yeah. So for 5 minutes thinking, how on earth?
And then I realized I got 54 cards. It's great for people who do this. So few people do this.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'll be interested in again. Is this going to be more achievable? I mean, I'm assuming everyone's going to get to a higher level. The 75 rewards, they're obviously going to make the rewards closer together. So it'll be like every 25, I guess.
Yeah, at the start especially, because they want to get people sort of invested and involved at the start.
Yeah.
I think those early levels will be pretty easy to get through.
Yeah, be interesting. Good though, it's all good.
Yeah, it is good. I mean, from one good to another good, the agenda tracker. So like you said, we're all fed up of writing down, you know, the amount of goddamn post-it notes I got through this year, writing down every agenda. I think most of the community can relate to that, you know, whether you use Excel, a pen and pad of paper, post-it notes, everybody had to have an external source to write down what they were doing. But now it says you can pause the game, and if you've tracked the agenda, so you do have to track them. So before you go into a game, you've got to remember to press, I think it's triangle, so it'll be Y on Xbox.
Does it say that?
Yeah, so quickly your progress towards your tracked agendas. So you got to make sure you track them, otherwise it won't show up in the pause menu. That's how I read it.
Oh, so you've got to select the ones that show up.
Yeah, because this year you can track agendas this year. I don't know what for, I don't know what the purpose is. You can press triangle on agendas this year.
It shows you in the loading screen.
Oh, does it? Is that what it is?
As you before lineups.
I'm with you. Yeah. So it's that, but it will now show you now be able to see them all the time whenever you pause the game. So that's great. You know, as long as you remember to do it for the game, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, look at the combination of things, right? You've got the agenda tracker, you have got clutch time offline, you can lock onto one player. They're just making it all so much easier than it was before. I love it. It's great. I hate doing XP. I hate doing XP. This is going to take the edge off it.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to do. It's not going to make it enjoyable.
No, it's definitely tedious after, you know, this is our third year doing, you know, level 40 grinds now. But yeah, they are saying, you know, we're gonna hold your hand through it. And it's like, all right, 2K, thanks. Appreciate that.
When I got to the point where I was doing XP and unlimited, I knew how I've never been down so bad.
Psycho. What the
I just couldn't
hell?
bring myself to load up TT offline again.
Damn. Nutter. Moving on. Moving on. This is if this wasn't in the blog today, I would have been severely shocked and disappointed. But we can now save our defensive settings. It's taken till 2022, but we now don't have to wait for a minute at the start of every single game for us and our opponents to do their settings in games. About that time, yeah. Finally, saving so much. I mean, people don't realize how much time you actually lose doing it. You know, you think you play, per season, it was 120 games if you did the showdown tier and unlimited. So let's say 1 minute per game for like you and your opponents. That's 2 hours of waiting. I'm not gonna lie.
The other thing is just the idea of pausing, because I'm gonna hold my hands up. I've paused before. It takes me 5 seconds to do my settings.
Yeah.
And there's literally been times where I'll pause. I'll be like, right, let's do the settings. My God, make a cup of coffee before this game. Like, when you paused, the game stopped. And you see it. You must have played people where you're like, they paused, but they're not doing anything because you can see, right? Yeah, that's me making a coffee. Usually. Like, the idea of pausing is good. But again, like, they fixed it with the draft thing where you can set your team before.
Yeah.
There was one other major thing. I can't remember what it was. Contracts was the other thing, right? It slowed the whole process down. So you're just getting through it quicker, all of it. You don't have to stop.
There's a lot less dead time.
You don't have to stop for settings. Yeah. You don't have to fix your lineup. Just all of it is just. It's very smooth. Even with limited, like you don't have to spend that extra 5 minutes trying to figure out what your team is. That is a continuous theme throughout all of this. Is just
streamlining everything.
Yeah. Love it. Again, brilliant. Definitely overdue. This is the one. I wouldn't say a lot of people said this about contracts, but it's like this should have been out the game years ago. This should have been in the game years ago.
Oh, for me, this was so much higher than contracts. My God, I was so fed up of wasting my life staring at people, and
there's a double-edged sword to this.
Yeah, go on.
Everyone's gonna have cracked defensive settings.
Sure, I mean they already did, though, I suppose. But you might forget to do 1 or 2 things when you pause it.
Those days of loading into a game and the guy doesn't do his settings, and you're like,
true.
No, they watch one video, do their settings once, and it's locked.
So is this possible? I'll take that over not wasting my time, though. I'll take it.
Yeah, me too. 100%.
Loading into a game and it starting is just going to feel so weird. I mean, people don't think that's a big deal, but when you load into a game now, it is a surprise if you actually get into the game without it being paused. The normal thing is if somebody pauses it, or if they don't pause it, you pause it. Getting into a game and you load in is, I can't believe it's a big thing to say, but it is a big thing.
It's huge.
And like you said, they really are just trying to streamline everything, which needed to happen because there was just so much dead time where you are, looking at settings, changing your lineups, sitting on because even when you load into a game, you've got to click enter, and then you click enter again, don't you? You set your matchups, and then you set your the lineup order, and then your matchups. Even that takes up a minute, and then you'd wait another minute for people to do their settings as well. It was so much dead time of not actually playing the game when you want to. I think they're really just trying to make that a seamless transition now, which is great and needed to happen.
Yeah, it delivers something we've asked for in a different way as well, right? Which is people say they want 4-minute quarters or whatever. This kind of delivers the same thing at the end of the day. The game is going to take significantly less time because we're spending less time faffing about at the start of the game. So everything speeds up. Yeah,
definitely. And then the last thing they mentioned is about grading returning. Hollows are also returning, but they don't mention that. But hollows are back. Grading is back. It doesn't say
reward cards. That's it.
Yeah, you can grade reward cards, and it doesn't say about the actual MT bonus, but not really much to say about that. And then the closing remarks are, blah 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 blah. But overall, that is a lot to digest, isn't it? I mean, that's what I hoped for from today. I hoped, when we saw that gameplay blog, I was like, if we get one that size for my team, I think we're going to be in store for a pretty good time. They've delivered on that today. When I saw the size of the little scroller, I was like, okay, it looks like there's a lot.
Yeah, we've got something there. Yeah.
And I think overall, overall thoughts.
I told you this whole time I've been optimistic. I remain that way. I think it's going to be a big year, man, for 2K. Honestly, I think it's going to be a massive year for my team. I think they're going to take a leap forward. It's evident already. We're talking about them coming out the gates with hundreds of hours of gameplay here. which is they've never done before, never come close. You know, look at previous years. The closest you've got is like, all right, you've got the XP grind, you've got unlimited, things like that. Most people don't do unlimited, so you really had the XP grind. One domination. What else? Very little, if almost nothing. We are talking about hundreds and hundreds of hours of gameplay, and it should appease everyone as long as the next thing, which is the gameplay reality, is good. I don't really see how anyone can complain at this stage. You're stretching to do it.
Yeah, no, it's just everything that we've wanted to see change for, you know, maybe just this year or like a good couple of years has now been addressed. You know, the most of the big things have been addressed, and it's all been in a positive way. You know, domination is the only thing I have like a big old red flag for, but you know, that is what it is. Like you said, it's better that there's more than less, I suppose.
Yeah.
And if the rewards individually are good enough, and you know, maybe they'll pull a blinder and make it 4 or 3 minute quarters. But you know, there's been new game modes added. Triple Threat Online's good with the friends. Clutch Time Offline's great. Unlimited's been changed. You can't get relegated now. What else do we have? Just sort of like bullet point of things.
Limited, you get every
Limited,
ring.
you get every reward.
Draft, you can set your lineup. Defensive settings is great. TTO, you got defensive settings.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of things, man.
Brand new trophy case thing as well, you know, which I think could I think that could really grip people as well. I think they could get a lot of hype out of that if they just sort of like present it like, all right, this day this card's going to come out for it, or this trophy's going to come out for it. This day this trophy's going to come out for it. If they sort of like drip feed it out, that could kind of be their filler for daily content.
For sure.
You know, maybe do like a division at a time, so you have one card per division or per team per division per day, as you have 5 or 6 cards coming out a day. That could be good. That could be really, really engaging for people. So yeah, that's a big thing. I really like that. And then you know, Scottie Pippen at level 40. I mean, you just can't knock that.
Brilliant. Brilliant. The best thing for me is kind of the takeover thing. I think the fact that every mode is going to get refreshed every week.
Yeah.
Because that's the concern, isn't it? At this point, you go, right, this is all fantastic for day 1. What does day 30 look like? What does day 60 look like? Are we going to hit that lull again?
Yeah.
As we do always around Christmas time. Everyone jokes about season 3. As long as things like this are there, they're built in from the start. We're guaranteed to get something weekly to do, regardless of how things play out. So I think they've killed it. Honestly, I think they've absolutely killed it. I've 2K21, I couldn't have been more down on this company and this game. All of it. I checked out for 9 months. 2K22 reeled me back in because I saw them trying to make things better. Whether they're achieving or not is, you know, up to the person's own perception. But I just had a feeling we were going to get here. Yeah. And they were going to make some big steps, and they were going to respond to things that we've been talking about for a long time. And they've absolutely delivered. They've just delivered. Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think people could or should be looking at this thinking it's, you know, not so many big changes that we've wanted for a long time. And with some new stuff sprinkled on top of it as well. You know, Unlimited coming back, you know, like I said, we said about that earlier, about the name itself. You know, they could have just called it anything else. It would have been, oh, look at this new mode that you can't get relegated from, and it's got, you know, leaderboards, whatever. They're great. It's not that the word's back, you know, it is what it is, but maybe they'll turn it around. Maybe by the end of next year, we say,
that's exactly great. You know what, bro? It's funny. You know, I own a business, right? And like, it is that sometimes, you know, sometimes things don't go your way. And, you know, if my business had like a bad day, we let down a client or whatever, we're not going to shut down the business, rebrand and open a new business tomorrow. We've just got to change the perception of the words that already exist.
Yeah.
And that's what it is here. Like, that's what they're doing. I get it. Like, I definitely, as someone who owns a business, there's no scenario where I would have bought that challenge upon myself to redeem Unlimited as a word. But they've done it, and they might do it. So let's see how it plays out. But yeah, it is great, man. It is really good. I'm so excited for this year. I think the game's going to boom. I think content's going to boom. I think there's something for everyone. I think the stuff that people don't want to do is now more appealing than it was last year as well. Yeah. It's a lot. And do you know what the best thing about this is? It kind of goes against a lot of what we've been saying, right? Because there's a heavy comparison between 2K and FIFA, which has never made 2K look good. It's just always been there. But they've kept their identity. in a lot of ways, I do respect that, right? They did keep unlimited because they're like, that's who we are.
They kept Domination.
Who we are.
Cornerstone, apparently.
Limited. Yeah, so, yeah, everything falls down without 5 dominations. The 5 pillars of my team. They've kept their identity, and they didn't actually cave and just do what everyone else did. Yeah. They looked at it differently. They've got this, trophy thing and all of that. They've kind of looked at it differently and gone, right, no, we can do something different and make it succeed.
Yeah, because their different is that long form 15, 16-hour grind that other companies just don't have, but that is what 2K have stuck by. For another year at least, that's now what they're saying, right? Yeah. We are going to keep pushing this. They've clearly got data. They must have the data that shows that people do play it, or it really helps with engagement, or the majority of players do at least get through 1 or more dominations. Otherwise, surely they wouldn't drop 5 or 1. But yeah, I mean,
it's a consequence of it being a basketball game, though, as well. You get through a FIFA game in 10 minutes, right? So everything just automatically becomes long term when it takes as much time to play one game as it does 4 games of FIFA.
Yeah. I mean, but like you said, I think 2 weeks time, I think everybody's going to be very excited when they're loading up, or if they're flying to New Zealand to get that early head start on it. I think it could be a very big year.
And then everyone's going to complain they're going to get TTO the 100 back. What else will we get back that they've got rid of? No one will be able to shoot, so they'll make shooting easy again.
Stick shooting will come back. No, wait, that was a good thing.
Yeah, the contracts will be back.
Yeah,
people will miss those.
Yeah, people will say they need ways to make MT, so they bring back contracts to make MT. That'll be it.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, I don't like doing my settings. Can we get rid of that? Yeah. No, it's good. It's going to be good.
I think it's going to be great. So that is our deep dive, everybody. I guess we've got to give it a rating. We'll ask everybody else to give it a rating out of 10 down in the comment section. So give it a rating out of 10, everybody, for the blog down below. But from Jazz, the rating is going to be a
9.
And a solid 9, a point, or just a solid 9?
Just a 9. The one is to be seen. It could be a 10, but right now it's a 9. Could also be a 3 by the end of
it. That just sums 2K up. But yeah, I think the most one I've seen today is probably 9s from people, which is for how the last sort of 2-3 months have been with the community sort of relationship with 2K. I don't think they could have expected anything better than that reception from it. I think that's way better than they could have thought. And I'll probably give it I've got to take points off for Domination. I'm going to go an 8.5 because they didn't drop Domination quarter time, but they may do that. And then the rest of it, like I said, it could be made up when we find out more about a few different things. But
just to be clear to anyone who's watching this, that's a positive score. It's not negative.
No.
8.5 is good.
That's great. That's great.
You don't need to say it's negative.
That is very high. That is very high. Especially because, like you said, there are so many things that are still up in the air. When we log on day 1, we see this mode. Because 2K22 was not a bad game for all the last 2 months, 3 months.
Was not. No.
It was a great game that had these underlying generational flaws that have been addressed in this. This is like a patch for 3, 4, 5 years worth of sort of deficiencies in like the way game modes are running, the settings, the contracts and whatnot. So if it's just like a massive, huge pat on the back to 2K22, it'd be like, all right, you've done a great job, but now we're going to make you insane and we're going to sprinkle a few new things on top of that as well. I don't see how it can fail as a video game. And like I said, I don't see how it can't grow with the community, with content creation. Yeah. I think it's just going to be a big.
It'll come out with a few kinks and stuff. Like there'll be things people don't like. But again, they demonstrated last year. As much as we joke about the 100, they demonstrated that if something's broken, they'll fix it. If something's not working, they'll adapt it. So I think ultimately within a month, we'll get to a point where all of these modes will be functioning pretty well.
I think so. All right. Any final comments?
No, looking forward to it. That's it.
2 weeks time, man. It's going to be on. So that's good from us today, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. Let us know down below what your score is for the blog. Jazz, thanks so much for coming onto the podcast again, buddy. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, bro.
And we'll see you guys in 2K23. Peace.